and good evening, everybody. This is an Insights with Transformation Leaders, and we are presenting you amazing, awesome transformation leaders who have impacted the world, trailblazers in their own space of growth. And today we have Miss Tineke Rensen from Netherlands. Welcome, Tineke.
Hi, Dr. Azeeza. I'm thrilled to be in your show. Thank you.
Thank you. And we know this show is presented to people across the world, and everybody gets to see this on GoGlobalChannel.com, a project of Go Global Business School and Global Sparks Academy USA. So we are putting this together primarily to inspire people on globalization and different topics on what's possible in life as they take on leadership in their business and everything that they do. And this week is International Women's Day, celebration in the air, right? Everybody's talking about it. And well, we are so thrilled that we're going to be having a double combo tonight, with live shows with you, as well as another amazing leader. So let's hear about Miss Tineke, who is from Netherlands. It's really inspiring to hear from her in a while. And she is the founder of Powerful Business Academy, and in business for 31 years. She's built an international outdoor and survival business from scratch and sold this after 22 years. It's so exciting. We're going to learn about it from her. And she was a national waterwork kayaking champion. That's an exciting portfolio to have. And she's now one of the most well-rounded business accelerators and mentors you can find in the world. She helps business women to scale and grow, make more impact, and work less. I love leverage. There are very few topics at which she cannot help. Basically, she's almost like she excels in many, many topics, and there's very few topics that she cannot help you with in that sense. And many people find this very hard to believe. I'm sure it is, because with 31 years of experience, working day and night, what can you expect from a woman like that? She has created an amazing system called the Women's Blueprint to Business Success. We're going to hear about that. Miss Tineke is a multi-award winning serial entrepreneur, and she's the author of Maximum Business Growth for Women. Now, I have to take a breather right now. That's a mouthful.
Thank you.
This is so exciting. And how does it feel like to hear you, so much? I'm sure you've been hearing this again and again.
I can't believe it when I hear all of it. I think, yeah, well, it is true. It is me. But yeah, it does sound like a lot, isn't it? Yeah. But I'm not so young anymore,
Well, we have to do the calculation sometime soon. And as we talk about the International Women's Day, we are so excited that this week we are presenting women who have been so successful. So first, as we talked about, the Happy International Women's Day to everyone again. And I'm going to ask this question because you have been in the space of working with men environment, I understand. Yeah. So what do you think the challenges are for women working in men environment, all men environment?
Yeah, well, it depends, of course, on which country and which culture you live. So I'm from the Netherlands in Europe. So men are also pretty emancipated over here, although it varies per country. But in my country, they pretty much are. But not when I started. That's 25 years ago. No, I was 25. It's over 30 years ago. But you know what? It never bothered me that I was amongst men. I think when I was born, I knew, well, not at the time when I was born, I didn't know that, but my dad always told me, I wish you would have been a boy. So I would have been Marcus, and that was the only name they had. So my mom had to come up with a name when I appeared to be a baby girl. So I always was into football, playing outside, climbing trees, playing with the boys, playing with cars and trains, and not with dolls. So I was a masculine girl. My trousers were dirty all the time. That's the kind of, I was a tomboy. So I really preferred being amongst boys. I did have a lot of girlfriends, but I always felt odd. I felt insecure. I felt being looked at. I didn't understand the games of gossiping. So yeah, I took on men's sports. Like I was a gymnast when I was younger, so that's very girly.
Yeah.
But at some point, I started mogul skiing, competition skiing. I started whitewater kayaking, mountain biking, hiking. So so to me, it made sense to start a business about that because it was my hobbies. And I had no idea at the time when I founded my business that I was the only woman in my country running an outdoor and survival business.
Wow.
I was shocked. I was like, why is there all... But on the other hand, it was also not weird because I was so used to be around men. And so the way it was difficult for me is because they were always, in my opinion, they were way ahead with their businesses. Their business were much larger. They seemed to me to know what they were talking about. They seemed to take big leaps of faith, take a lot of risks. And I always felt insecure and I always felt intimidated by their way of doing business. But I never told anybody this, of course. Those were my secrets.
But now you're sharing the secret on what we call the world TV.
but I wasn't going to tell them that I was impressed. Come on, I was one of the guys. So I just did what they did, you know. I learned from them. I learned a lot. And you know, the good thing is, because I was a woman, none of them felt me as being a threat. I wasn't the competition because my business was a bit smaller. And yeah, it was fun the way Tineke was playing with her business. Although at some point it was quite a sufficient business. But they always mentored me and guided me. So it was tough. In one way, because I was very insecure and I had no business knowledge when I started. And I come from an emotion that I always wanted to prove myself. And therefore it wasn't easy because I was never as good as them. I was never as good as I was in my dreams and in my imagination. So that was hard. I was more in my own way, to be honest, than the men were. The men have helped me and guided me because I wasn't a threat. That's how it really did serve me a lot. But it wasn't easy. But I didn't notice it at the time. I must say that. I only know that now. Now I'm more mature, more older. How insecure I was, and yeah, I had no idea because I was living with myself every day, so that was normal.
That's very interesting. So what would you say that women need to look out for when working with men? What do you think they need to look out for when working with men?
Ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, men can't refuse to help. They want to provide, they want to help women. That's how they're programmed. So don't beat them, don't go into competition with them, ask them for help. And they're always willing to help.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what other areas did you, do you feel this conversation, like working with men, has supported you? I mean, I'm hearing you say so many things about it, like so many positive things.
Well, what always helps me is to play with people in a different league. So I never want to learn from people who are playing in my league. So I always want to learn from people who are way above me. That was when I was doing sports, and it was the same when I was in business. So when people tell me and want to teach me stuff, I'm pretty arrogant. I'm sorry that I have to say that, but it's like,
that because of your masculine energy in the way?
Yes, I think so. If you want to teach me something, you really have to be good, and then I'm a student, and you can teach me anything, and I respect you. But if you're on my level, I don't know. I don't accept that. So yeah, I always want to learn from the best.
I
invest a lot of money in that, to be honest. Yeah.
You say that again? What
I invest a lot of money in that. I invest a lot in mentors. Still now, I am a business mentor, but I also have mentors because there's always more to learn.
Exactly. And you know that it's the secret to real business leaders, right? We
Yeah,
always have mentors who guide us, who are, I love it when you say they are ahead of us
yeah,
in what they are doing so that we can continue our learning journey. And there are times we outgrow our mentors too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
See,
this has
yeah,
happened.
yeah. Students outgrow me as well, and then they need to move on as well. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very fair thing to say. Yes, absolutely. Now, very interestingly, as we talk about outgrowing, and you grew a business to 20 for 22 years and you sold it. You know, women, as I understand, we work a lot on heart conscious and passion, and many business people do that. It's like, oh, it's my baby. I need to like take care of it. But you sold it. So what happened? And how did you
um,
feel about selling it?
well, I wanted to sell it because I thought I knew it all. I thought, well, there's no more challenge for me. I always wanted to improve myself. I always wanted to grow better, be better, learn more, and that wasn't happening anymore in my business. We were also in the midst of the financial crisis, and it was 2011 when I sold my business. And it was consolidating already for 3 years on a row, which when I look back at it, that was really good, because many businesses of my competitors, they went bankrupt because it really was a
Oh.
severe time then.
Mm.
But it didn't challenge me. There was no more growth. From the beginning, every year my business grew, and the last 3 years it didn't. And no matter what I tried, it didn't grow. And looking back at it, I didn't have the knowledge back then that I have now. I had needed someone like me, like I am now. I needed someone who guided me through the yeah, what's it called, plateau that I was heading with my business. I could not make the next step. I was doing more marketing than before, but in the same way I used to do it. I was working harder, but in the same way. I was working with my people the same way, but more. But at some point, it's not about harder and more, but it's about different. And I didn't
Yes.
have that knowledge. I didn't know what the different was. And then I got frustrated because nothing seemed to work.
Wow.
And then I just thought, why do I want to do this? I was 10 years younger. I thought, do I want to continue doing this until I'm 65? I thought, no, I want a new challenge. I want to have something new. And I thought I better sell it now, because when my competitors are losing their business, it's bound to gonna happen maybe to me if this crisis is gonna last. So yeah, and everybody said, "Oh, don't sell it. Wait until the crisis is over," because
Mm.
people are thinking you need to sell. So no, I don't need to sell. I want to sell.
Yeah.
I want to. I'm ready for a new challenge.
I
Yeah,
like that sentence you said. It's not you need to sell, but you want to sell. And that
yeah,
is a powerful decision where you are making a whole brain decision, that you're not
yeah.
driven by just your heart saying, that indecisiveness or that kind of a softness that you're not able to take a stand and you're putting
Mm.
too much of emotion to it. You're moving to the balanced way of thinking to say you want to just you have made your decision based on a very holistic approach to the whole conversation, right?
Yeah, I wasn't having so much fun anymore. So yeah, it was that was the basic decision. And I told you when we were chatting before, at
Yeah.
some point I took a seminar, and there was a guy on stage, T. Harv Eker, and he was talking to a room of 5,000 people. And I was like, this is amazing. I had never ever witnessed anything like that. And I thought, I want to be on stage. I want to be helping and serving so many people. And that was another motivation of, now it's time to sell my business. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. We are always inspired by so many different kind of, thought pattern, and you keep growing with it. I think that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And and moving forward, right? The conversation on your book, you wrote a book,
Yeah.
and the book is called Maximum Business Growth for Women. You really moved into a women's space, and this book, what inspired you to write this book?
Now, after I sold my business, I thought, let's go and help women build a business. And the first women I encountered were women who were running their business on their own, and they were not playing big and not thinking big the way I always used to and the way men do. And I came from a very masculine background as a tomboy working in a masculine environment. So at the time I thought, well, that's weird. Why don't they think big? Why do they hide? Why are they insecure? And I thought, I've always been insecure, but it never stopped me. So why do women stop themselves when they're insecure? It didn't make sense. So I labeled it as, well, that's weak behavior. So I thought that I can't help them because they don't want to be helped. That's how I wasn't going to waste my time. You know, that's the masculine attitude I had. And at some point, one of my coaches told me, Tineke, maybe it's time that you drop some of your masculine energy and embrace some of your femininity. And there was another thing. When I talked to women, they said, well, this doesn't feel right. And I thought, well, you know if something feels right or not. What's the feeling got to do with it? I never understood what they meant. And yeah, I started to, he helped me with that. So I became more feminine. I still have a lot of masculine, but I think it's more combined now into a certain passion. I'm a lot more loving and caring and I'm a lot less calculated than I used to be. I'm a lot less strategic than I used to be. But because I can help women with it, because we need strategies, we need focus, yes. we need support, we need clarity, we need systems, you know. And in my opinion, I always say that there are masculine business traits or characteristics and are feminine. The feminine things in business are involving people, taking care of everybody, making sure it's all properly organized and well done, making sure that all the clients and the people are happy, and those are also very important. But you can't serve as many people and you can't show what you have to offer to as many people if you're not strategic, if you don't have action plans, if you don't have focus. So you need both ways. You need the masculine in business and you need the feminine. Although, in my opinion, it's very difficult to be successful otherwise.
Is
and that's how I became someone who really wants to help business women. And I can now see, like, everything I've gone through, how much that now serves me to be able to help other women to not feel as insecure as I felt and to scale a lot faster. I always thought, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. And it worked, but I never knew if it was going to work. And now I know what works. So it's so much easier for the women I help and serve.
Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. And that's going to be exciting because we see you having this amazing duality, which is so important for business. And that kind of explains the success of any business person to grow and, you know, outgrow themselves to continue to make that balanced approach to life. Yeah. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
For women, success is, and that worried me in the beginning when I was still very masculine. For women, success is, it's never about the money. It's not about the toys. It's not about the buildings. And so that's the feminine side of being successful. Men, it's often about their cars, their toys, their big fancy buildings, the amount of money. And I think that needs to change in the whole world. Success is not, it's a combination of both. And
people are taking sides right now. It's like, oh no, this, oh no, that. So people are either in the material or in the other side of social.
It's not either or, it's both. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. So if I would ask you, you know, as we come to the we've been speaking for 20 minutes, and that's
All
so
right.
much of information we're getting from you, and that's so exciting. If I would ask you, right now, globalization and getting online and all of this is such a important thing. What do you think women need to do thinking global?
Well, it's really easy when you're on social media. You don't need to talk to people in your country. You can talk to the whole world. So it's never been easier to go global. When I started my business, I had a typewriter and a telephone. These big ones with dialing the number. Remember? Yeah. Some people might not even know about it. So,
I
so
know.
that was how I had to start my business. We had no cell phones, we had no computers, we had no internet. It didn't. So nowadays it's so easy to go global. Online, it's really easy, but of course there are different cultures. So yeah, you need to know a little bit about not a little. You need to know exactly who your audience is. And if they are global, you need to look into different cultures. You need to take care of the way you dress, for example. But and if you have an offline business, then it's still very easy. But you work with an agency, or you work with the embassies in the country. So I used to reach out to the Dutch embassy in London when I wanted to open my business club in London. They helped me very well. So there are a lot of structures to help you when you want to go global.
That's definitely for sure. And one of the skills I feel women need to have is a very, I talked about this just last couple of weeks back also, environmental intelligence, knowing who you are with and able to connect with them immediately because you see the synergy. And that's how we connected.
And that's feminine. I totally feel that's the feminine way, and I love that. And it's following that flow what brings success. And then it's really easy to become successful. If we listen to our heart, and if we don't listen to our fears, the heart never stops you.
Yes, absolutely. And the action that we mutually take to go global, like seeing the opportunity and going about grabbing the opportunity to connect and show up. And that's because we step out of our fear. That's what you're saying, right?
You and I, we met somewhere in an online environment where a few of us were speaking. We never met, and now you're interviewing me, and maybe after this we continue talking, and that's how easy it can be.
That's right. And there's nothing to fear, friends.
It's never been easier.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much. And I want to have a shout out to Madam Duani of Karma Foundation, who created the connection for us to show up in her event. And thank you, Madam Duani, for that amazing connection you've made. And
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. And Miss Tineke, let's give us your International Women's Day sharing. Like, tell us, what do you want women to know in this juncture?
We need to support each other, and we should. We have the strong feminine things, and we have the weak feminine things. The weak is that we're jealous, and that don't use that shit. Step up, use your strong feminine skills, embrace and help and support each other, and we're much stronger than men.
Very nice. Help and support each other. Step up, ladies. And thank you so much, Ms. Tineke. It's wonderful having you in our session. We look forward to continuing this conversation and taking forth, great progress together for global women to shine together. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and share this video so more people can step up their game and come together in a bigger world of love, peace, and joy. Thank you, and see you in another session.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.